Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, February 22, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. I have a reverse aging health call Friday, tomorrow night, at around 9 p.m. Eastern. I think most of us are aware of the quote, the kingdom of God, right? And the kingdom of God is within us. And Jesus made this statement to many people. Of course, they were all by camera, so it's very difficult for him to get his point across. And he was inferring that everybody has this innate connection to the great inner kingdom. Not just a sacred few. And it's the enlightened consciousness is this kingdom. And it is effortlessly and instantly found by anyone who surrenders to it. We're all already connected to this amazing state of consciousness right now. Now, we may not feel it because we know that the mind is blocking the way. We also know only when the mind becomes completely relaxed and trusting of life can it be fully revealed. This is why we talk about mastering the mind, the ego mind. When we fall naturally into the deepest stillness and silence within us, we will discover this awesome, enlightening consciousness is already there. This consciousness is the highest state of consciousness that there is. There's nothing more loving, accepting, insightful, appreciative, and jovial than this enlightened state of mind. Believe it or not, this is our most natural state. Isn't that crazy? Because you watch all this, what's going on, right, in the surface. And every one of us, this is our natural state of being. When we choose to be at peace with ourselves, over everything else in this universe, we naturally begin to connect with this deeply profound spiritual healing energy that resides at the core of our being. Most of us will constantly overlook these higher states of consciousness because the mind is so preoccupied and clinging to its extensive variety of desires, thoughts, and fears. The mind basically becomes so busy that it forgets that a more enlightened experience of this life is available to explore in each moment. Many of us, we were all taught as children how powerful and important the mind is. And so we blindly follow the mind. We tag along, so to speak. Remain extremely close to it and believe in it wherever it goes. Unknowingly, we waddle along from one thought to the next, grasping onto every dip and wiggle like we are the chick and it's the great mama duck. Now, we may find that weeks, months, and years can pass by where we are consistently following the mind for 24 hours a day around without a break. We may even believe that we have no other choice than to hang on the tail of the mind and be pulled along with its desires forever. The mind's hypnotic spell over us is deep and yet extremely tantalizing, as we may feel lost without it, and are often happily caught in its habit of reaching into these delicious world of desires. Sometimes it happens in a rare moment or situation in this life, we suddenly stop following the mind. A deep relaxation occurs, and we realize that we do not have to follow our thoughts at all. We eventually understand that our desires will manifest for us at the right time. And so we can simply bask and enjoy the expansive glory of the great universe around us. It is from this mind-stopping space that a deeper inquiry arises within to find where is the source of this mind. When we peer inside to see where our thoughts are originating from, it causes the mind to become very quiet. And it is this silence which unlocks the door to finding our connection with this, some call it the Christ consciousness within, or the Buddha consciousness. The greatest magical moments of our lives manifest the moment we step back from our desiring, seeking, searching, needy mind. We do that in this meditation every day. When you get into you relax into your body as much as possible, and you focus on your breath rising and falling. Every moment, you're in the now. You're as still as a statue, but you're in a deeply relaxed state. And that's called the now. And that's all we have, is the now. It is from this mind-stopping space that a deeper inquiry arises within to find where is the source of this mind. When we peer inside to see where our thoughts are originating from, it does cause the mind to become very quiet. And it is this silence which unlocks the door to finding our connection with this super consciousness, this Christ consciousness, Buddha consciousness within. The greatest magical moments of our lives manifest the moment we step back from our desiring, seeking, searching, needy mind. When we rest into the stillness of the center of our heart. The mind must let go. Has no other choice. Life instantly becomes a serene, perfect, and naturally centered experience. We feel there is an eternity ahead of us in this healing space. We stop trying to create, achieve, or change anything in this world. It feels so good just resting here with existence, doesn't it? Revealing our natural divinity while appreciating and accepting this entire universe as it is. It is in the merging of a quiet, trusting mind and the deeper relaxation in the body where this Christ consciousness abides. Discovering this place inside of us will heal many layers in lifetime of doubt, worry, and fear. The enlightened state enters us automatically when the mind truly stops. And when the mind stops, our consciousness expands, and we enter that state. They happen simultaneously, as if they were two sides of the same coin. The very moment we become completely relaxed and at peace with everything in this life, This highest consciousness must move into us and act through us. It has no other choice. I am a human being, just like you. But at the same time, I am God. That quote came from Jesus, taken from the Gospel of St. Thomas. How many of us would, in this relaxed state, say that with exuberance? I am a human being just like you, but at the same time, I am God. Another enlightening tip to reveal this Christ consciousness within you takes a little creative exploration and personal commitment. Because this amazing enlightened state is so precious, so powerful and transforming, it resides in the place we would least expect it to be. Our Christ consciousness is not discovered through pushing to find the highest experiences or attempting to resist or avoid the lower experiences. It's not found from trying to only think positive thoughts, nor rejecting those fearful parts of yourself that are not so positive about life, about this life. The Christ consciousness is much bigger than the mind, and is something that finds you when you naturally are at peace with both extremes. When we are walking the middle path of this life, that place which is free from any clinging to the higher and resisting the lower, a great feeling of freedom enters us. There's no struggle to change anything in this life on the middle road. We see that our consciousness is completely perfect, and it knows everything is perfect as it is. There is this feeling of extreme peace. We know we have already arrived at the great kingdom, so it's not trying to get anywhere special. Best part, however, is that the mind becomes crystal clear and is no longer running the show. We become liberated from the demanding, striving, obsessive ego, realize how wonderful it is to relax and enjoy the simple experience of being alive. Only through finding this middle way in every action, thought, and situation we are in, can we transcend our clinging mind, surrender to Source, and discover an effortless freedom from our relentless ego. On the path of surrender, our highest consciousness becomes infused in everything that we do, because the mind is no longer pushing towards what it wants, nor trying to get away from what it doesn't want. We can actually relax in the experience of now. We suddenly find it very easy to let go of those typical issues which normally irritate and worry us, because we are so enthralled in amazing natural expanse of the divine universe flowing all around us. Great quote from Buddha. You can lose only what you cling on to. It's important to know that the society around you has hypnotized everyone to believe it is quite normal to live in states of desire, struggle, and suffering. You need this and have to buy that in order to be happy, and without it, you cannot relax and just be content with this life as it is. Humanity has gotten used to being needy, and this causes loads of suffering. The habit of resting and relaxing and stillness, acceptance of life as it is so cosmic, empowering, and transformative, you'll never go back to striving for anything again. Be patient with yourself. As this suffering habit is accepted by everyone. This entire society is like children who have been given one pair of shoes to wear at birth, and years later they're 5 sizes too small. We've all been wearing these tiny shoes for so many years that we have just accepted the experience that life typically is small, tight, and confined. These small shoes come in many styles, forms, such as the plethora of rules, regulations, laws, and moral superstructure of an overly controlled, untrusting society. We're all wearing tight, tiny little wooden shoes, and we don't know how to take them off. We have shrunken ourselves to fit into them and believe that this is who we are. We don't so easily accept that the Christ consciousness is our basic nature. It's our natural state of being and our soul's natural destiny. Everyone is blindly following around the ego-driven mind, and so we should do what is normal. Otherwise, we won't fit in. We won't fit in and find happiness. Now, what everyone really should be doing, first thing every morning, is break free from this mass societal hypnosis. Realize that Christ consciousness is our very nature. And when we stop running to catch up with the other rats, and we sit and realize that finding an enlightened way of seeing life is the most important thing we can do with our time. We start living a new life that is constantly bubbling up joy, creativity, love, and energy within us. After a few days of this, you'll find suffering has stopped showing up on your radar. So I invite you to explore, everyone, what it's like to feel these tiny shoes when you continue tolerating and ignoring them. It's like tossing a fat bucket of mud splattered all over your windshield, learning how to just deal with, not clean it off, right? Not clean it off. You got a little space that you look through. And the rest of the windshield's all blotted, right? It's up to you. So do you continue trying to see the road ahead through that little teeny half clear spot on the bottom corner of your windshield, or do you keep driving even faster? The ego is too stubborn and addicted to old habits and would never think to pull over. Stop the car. Get out and completely wash the entire thing off. Pay attention to the stillness, the silence more often. And there will come a day when we will experience the ego is not really running this show. This inner silence is what enlightenment is all about. washing everything off, cleaning yourself from the mind muck, an incessant chatter that's constantly squeezing you and compressing your life. When you're with people, do not try to fit into the smaller pair of shoes so others feel more comfortable with the bigger ones. This society will never be satisfied with who you truly are. It's just not comfortable allowing everyone's Christ consciousness to move freely about. Till everybody becomes this awkward being or awakened being, then there will be absolute trust of the individual and no need for controlling rules and regulations. And as Ram Tzu quoted, "You stand at the edge ready to throw yourself in. What a shock to discover there is nowhere to go and no one to throw." Now, I'm not saying that our society is totally wrong. It's just asleep. It doesn't want to recognize the Christ consciousness in every being. It thrives off of suffering, and the government would go out of business if we all awakened to our sovereign state, connecting with our enlightened consciousness inside. It will take everything we've got inside of us to stand up, be strong, and liberate ourselves from the mass hypnosis. When this Christ consciousness awakens within you, you will know. You will feel unstoppable in everything you do and totally trust that wherever life decides to take you, it's always guiding you home. And what I want more than anything is that you learn how to trust yourself. Picture this analogy. Now, if you've been driving for years with a massive mud cake on the windshield of your mind, a deep cleaning and brainwashing may be needed. How do you begin with that? Start with affirming to yourself that you can trust yourself. That's a biggie. That you can trust yourself every day in every way. Feel what trusting your heart is like. How does it resonate inside? Realize that remaining at 100% trust is the enlightened state that knows everything is perfect as it is. Meditate on this thought for the next 90 days. Notice how your body, mind, and life tend to respond. So you can see our, well, let's just say, obstacles. And as Osho quoted, the ego will not allow you to see the reality because it says, I am separate. The moment the tree thinks it's separate from the earth, it starts dying. The tree has to know that it exists only as an extension of the earth. Then it is nourished and fed by the earth. Only then is it at home. I think we would all agree that this world is filled with people who feel they've lost their way. In this very now moment, not yesterday, not tomorrow, many are facing divorce, drowning in bills, cannot sleep, massively overweight and deeply depressed, eating dead food, deeply unhealthy. Perhaps they've lost a family member, their soulmate, or even their house, financial security, or worse, the hope for a better future. We all know that this life can get so intense at times that some people feel they've even lost their minds. When it comes down to it, we have all experienced some form of loss. Yet, whatever it is that we lose along this grand adventurous journey, no matter what it is, we must choose to also realize that it is a precious gift, teaching us the sacred art of letting go. Now, the ultimate truth here is that we cannot take anything with us when we leave the body or on this planet die. There are no cell phones, emails, bills, car payments, or bank accounts in heaven. Right? Where's the heaven? You, the real you, the God source. There is just love. Pure, deep, eternal love. And an eternity of time to enjoy it. When this body that we're all currently in this very now are in has served its time on this planet and is done here, we take nothing with us but our own life experiences, love, and consciousness. So your life experiences, love, and consciousness are the most precious items that you are carrying right now. Doesn't it make sense to make them your number one priority over all your ego's needs, fears, wants, wishes, demands, and desires? You will find your life suddenly becomes much easier, sweeter, and simpler to live. We all need some guiding light to show us where to go in this life. This greatest light that you will ever discover is not in your outer world, yet deep inside at the very core of consciousness. The light of pure awareness. If and when you look close enough, you'll see that it has a direct, consistent connection that is flowing to and from the actual God source itself. You could miss experiencing this amazing connection because you're paying more attention to your thoughts about it instead of the actual light of pure awareness. So simply place your attention only on pure awareness and nothing else. See what happens. Do it for the next few minutes. Notice if something shifts and how spiritually connected you feel inside. Often, the moment when we forget about our brilliant light of awareness, the mind instantly takes over, tends to point itself towards its desires. It wants to achieve things, to be happy, successful, fulfilled, or heal negative experiences from the past, as it believes these are the main reasons why we are not happy today. Yet, these aren't the real reason why we continue this habit of remaining caught in some emotional gutter. The real reason why we remain stuck in yesterday's old news is because we haven't learned how to create a solid, trusting connection with the God source, of which we are. The source of absolute, deep, eternal love. We have forgotten that the God source is real, that it's instantly available, that it's here right now, super easy to access, and the great golden secret, how we can all truly enjoy this precious life again. We cannot fail at anything in this life when we are feeling connected with this great, deeply eternal, loving source within. And when we are feeling our soul's natural connection with it, we relax and start asking ourselves deeper questions like, why am I really here? What's the most enlightened thing I can do with my time? What can I do to live out my life's mission? When we are feeling into our sweet, supportive spiritual connection, we instantly stop complaining. We let go of our demanding, abrasive ego and start appreciating what is. Awakening the God source within is quite simple. It really boils down to giving up our resistance to our connection with it. As we investigate further inside ourselves, we can find places where we could start relaxing more about this life and opening our hearts to trusting in life more and more and more. The God source is everywhere. There's no place or time we can find to escape from it. The task, then, is all about letting go of our resistance to its great, unending love. When we open the heart to trusting in the energy of deep, eternal love, we begin learning the most important lesson we are here to learn. How to fully embrace, accept, and appreciate who and what we really are. We were not born to just tolerate our lives. We are here to celebrate, love, and embrace everyone and everything in it. When we stop dwelling on how we were wronged, how messed up we are, or wounded we are by our past, we create a space for love to come in. That's when we stop dwelling on all that stuff. Then, and only then, we can start using our creative energy to enjoy feeling how deeply, eternally loved we are and amazing it is to be alive. The secret to awakening the great God source within, it begins with a sincere willingness to let in love, to trust love, to allow love in whenever given, and welcome the vibration of feeling lovable. This willingness is what allows us to stop defending and protecting ourselves from any possibility of future pain. We forget to be afraid of life, of people, of taking risks, of creating intimacy, and getting hurt again. With just a little willingness to let in deep eternal love, we begin feeling more open, vulnerable, and excited to allow even more amazing and abundant experiences into our lives. This willingness to let in love is a huge step. With it, we will realize just how beautiful, childlike, and tremendously innocent we truly are. This life is the greatest school there is. It's always going to be teaching us what we most need to know about ourselves. The experience of letting in love is founded in the feeling of trusting life. There is a part in us that wants to let in love and trust life more than anything. Yet it's skeptical, doubtful, prideful, or may not believe that you are lovable. You may have 1,000 reasons not to trust in life or love. It may feel more honest that you doubt yourself, others, and continue to protect yourself from trusting in anyone or anything. This is how the connection to the God source gets blocked. It can be quickly shifted, however. And this happens by simply relaxing your body, mind, being willing to trust in how good it feels to trust again. I mean, look at around you. Look, watch. All you got to do is watch. Nobody trusts anybody. Everybody thinks everybody's out to get them. They're always going to get screwed. They're always going to get raked over the coals. Right? Slowly, you will actually become more trusting, more open, honest, available, receptive, and eventually start feeling in your soul's direct connection to the God source again. Great quote from Osho: "The singer exists only in singing. The walker exists only in walking. So is the ego. The ego exists only in clinging, in possessing things, in dominating things. When there is no domination, no desire to dominate, no desire to cling, no desire to possess, the ego starts evaporating." Here's a little experiment that you can apply on yourself this week. Consider that your grand soul purpose in this life is simply to trust in every experience you are having within. Trust in every feeling, every thought, belief, emotion. Trust in your intuition and each situation you are part of. Trust so fully and deeply that everything inside of you relaxes completely. Watch how your mind and ego tend to resist trust at first. Yet in time, they will slowly dissolve into it. When your trust is absolute on the inner world, it will overflow into everyone in your outer world. Trust in yourself first, in what is occurring within you, is the right experience you're learning the most from. Making trust bigger than the actual thought, judgment, or life experience is one of the quickest ways to find the God source within you. Right now, tell yourself that it is possible to trust in yourself 100% this week. Imagine you are doing this and embracing the divine being you truly are. This simple energy of trusting in this life is the secret to opening the doorway to the deep, eternal, loving God source. It's really not a tough job when you consider the other possible techniques others are doing to try and reach God, right? There's a whole bunch of them out there. I invite you, I challenge you, and I dare you to fully explore this experience of deep trust. Relax fully into it and let it spread all throughout your life. Take on this trusting invitation first thing in the morning. Feel that it's extremely safe to let down all your guards today and walk around with a receptive, trusting heart, welcoming in life with a big smile. Try it for 24 hours. Do it for 24 hours. See what manifests. Explore the sensations of being open, welcoming and accepting with all beings, animals, plants, situations, experiences, and material things. Keep doing it until you feel it, if you need to. Some will fake it until they make it. And as we relax into this moment and become more open and available to this life, all our fears, phobias, pains from the past cannot be found anymore. They are like shadows that disappear when the sunlight enters. All your hardness and skepticism melts into this sea of this divine trusting energy. Do not underestimate the magnitude of this simple trusting practice. It is powerful enough to transform yourself and everyone in your world. There's another great secret to instantly awaken your connection with the great God source within you, which is you. This is for those who find it absolutely impossible to let their guard down and trust anything at all. So this sweet little secret is to enter the black hole of emptiness inside you and let it empty out yourself completely. Merge with the emptiness, and it will help you let go of everything. Surrender everything inside you. Be free from everything. Let go of your attachment to everything, thought, and feeling you're having. Release your addictions, desires, compulsions, wishes, and beliefs into the empty unknown. Throw everything inside yourself into the emptiness until you are 100% empty. You won't be disappointed at what happens next. Now, in this emptying out process, right? The next experience that manifests is very liberating. When you are total in your letting go, releasing it all into the emptiness, you create a fresh space for something brand new to enter you. When every hard, cold neurosis is out of the way, pendulum tends to swing back towards feeling nurtured and nourished by life. Soft, warm, loving presence of your own soul steps in. You feel as if this life is holding you so closely, so warmly, and exquisitely. The emptiness suddenly becomes very full, and you feel as if you've become a newborn baby, suckling on the great universal mother's breast. It feels good to know that the great sacred God source is here now, waiting patiently for you to empty yourself out. This is one quick way to immediately reach into her. It's good to know that the magic of discovering the God source within happens in the simple, sweet presence of your own company. When you are truly alone, try out these techniques that I'm sharing and have shared with you. Let yourself allow this awesome, indescribable God force pierce through your heart, soul, and consciousness. The pure God source energy is already penetrating you right in this very now moment. You're just simply not aware of it. The God source will never reject or deny you. It is always ready for you to open, waiting to move into you. There's nothing you can do to change this. We must always be aware, however, that the mind is always trying to make something happen. It will try to pave a straight, firm path towards what it thinks God is. Yet, it's this narrow mind habit which causes us to miss God every time. The universal God source is too vast, deep, and enormous for the mind to contain. The moment we empty our mind and let down our resistance to love, we discover how fun it is to bow down to the divine. It's in this moment that the God source flows into us. When you're the most surrendered, still, and in the most humble state of ecstasy. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy, slow breath in through the nose. Easy, slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Are you aware that you are dreaming up your entire life? The mind is continuously imagining the way things are and how things are not. This is not the entire reality. The mind is a master at formulating ideas about what reality is. Today is your day to free yourself from the dream and the dreamer. Simply sit back and watch the dreamer. It's that easy. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. We will return here Friday, February 23, 2024, around 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call, and around 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our reverse aging call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. The highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, and purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's happening within you or outside of you.